What's up, Jackson? Hope everybody doing well today. Today is Humpty Hump Day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no doubt. Well. Look what lucky. Look what we have here. Yeah, Mr. John Davis, former welfare executive. 20, according to the Jackson Free Press. According to the Jackson Free Press, Mr. John Davis. Remember that guy, John Davis, Mr. Ted DiBiase Jr. The guy that took a liking to Mr. Ted DiBiase Jr. Remember that? Remember that in that case? Well, he's according to the Jackson Free Press, there's 20 charges, federal charges that he's facing now. They bring him up on charges for misusing welfare funds. That was supposed to help the poor, supposed to help, you know what I'm saying, the unfortunate. Let me get my words right this morning. And I'm like, and helping Ted DiBiase brother, junior brother, Brett, what's his name, Brett DiBiase, for him going to a halfway house. Come on, man. Yeah, so he could duck them charges. He went to that joint to duck them charges. Now, think about what I'm saying here, y'all. If he did that to duck them charges, what you think Jody Owens could have did? Aight. He ducked him. So it brings me back to that. But I'm not going to digress today. I digress. I know y'all tired of hearing me talk about that Jody Owens, Chuck Anton, Lumumba, and Aaron Banks case. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a little tired of harking on it myself, so we're not going to hark on that today. But I was just trying to contrast and compare what could have happened. You know what I'm saying? To get you to start thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say one more thing and that's out. I'm landing my plane on it. It's a short run. He could have did that. But see, that's how you know. This is how you know something else is going on. Look at the way these cases was handled. They were federal cases. These was federal cases. And you can't say you can't compare and contrast to that. Because they could have these were federal cases. They could have did the same thing. Plain landed. But anyway. So, this cat being brought back up on 20 charges, federal charges. You know why? Because they can't go after Ted DiBiase Jr. no more. So they said, let's go after another cookie. They're hoping that he gonna spill the beans on something else, so they could probably, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy though. It's crazy. I was sitting there reading that mess. I was like, well. And see, that goes to show you. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put that in the news. Well, if they did, they probably put it on another channel, and it was brief. But if they didn't, come on, man. Yo, shout out to JFP, yo. You know what I'm saying? Jackson Free Press, for real. For putting out that information. Because a lot of folks don't know. It was like, I was like, let me see, because, man, let me tell you something. Anytime when they ain't got nothing else to do, they start doing other things, like talk to mainstream media. So nah. So I said, well, let me see what's going on. Let me see what's not being talked about. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I went to the JFP, to the Jackson Free Press, because they gonna tell stuff that the mainstream media ain't gonna tell. For real. So they like, well, we got bigger fish to fry. You remember that? Stone Cold Steve Austin? I got bigger fish to fry. Yeah. They got bigger fish to fry. Real talk. They got bigger fish to fry. Man, you think you think them cats gonna take another L? They was embarrassed. Man, Ted DiBiase Jr. embarrassed them. He embarrassed the feds. Publicly, rap. Publicly. Ain't no telling what went down between them and him. You know what I'm saying? You can keep the money. We finna go after somebody else. You know what I'm saying? He probably could have cut a deal. I don't know. He could have cut a deal. He could have cut a deal before time. And they could have just presented certain evidence that they knew that wouldn't implement him. See what I'm saying? Come on, B. I be thinking that way. I mean, that's my thing. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want, but it's all good. But just think about it. Yo, I come to you, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? See, that thing could have went both ways. Where he could have talked to them ahead of time before they even took it to court. And so they could just produce a certain amount of evidence. They could submit a certain amount of evidence to make it look like they lost publicly. But in other words, they're cutting deals. Come on, B. Come on, B. This is business. All of it is business. Every ALL. ALL, it's all business. This mess is all business. It ain't nobody, but see, they got you thinking, because you listen to the other box. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna tune into Jackson. You ain't gonna tune into to my channel. You ain't gonna tune into the 601 network. 601 network. You're not gonna tune into my channel. You're not gonna listen to what I got to say. Because number one, I'm not what's called reputable. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna listen to what I have to say. But you're gonna listen to the Dog and Pony Show on Channel 16, Channel 12, Channel 3, and Fox 40. You're gonna tune into those networks because they so-called reputable. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're not gonna tune into the 601 network, Real Jackson News. This the real. I'm telling you, I'm giving it to you raw. Because I want you to think in another way. I want you to think in another way, so you can see if. So you can formulate your own opinions, not formulate the opinions that you see on the television screen. Because the television screen, I'm telling you, they're putting that mess out so you can think a certain way. I'm telling you, 601. I want you to think on your own. I want you to be your own thinker. I'm giving you my point of view. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can think outside the box too, resident. Because I'm going to tell you something. Oh, believe, rest and believe. Many of you know, many of you don't. Many of you don't. But there's a lot of you that do. They got something more, it's something more going on. It's something more going on than what people are saying because they're doing it behind the scenes. It don't be revealed until a private media source like the JFP reveal it. You won't know. Okay, case in point. Let me ask you this question then. If I'm lying, then why is it that Fox News and Fox 40 and Channel 16 tell something different? Why instead of them covering the same media, a lot of times they'll cover something different. See, in New York, they would cover the media, like you would have Channel 7 and Channel 4 would cover the media up in New York. They'll cover the same thing, but they'll say something different. I know this for a fact. I'm a witness to it. You had CBS, NBC, ABC, WORTV, and WPIX, right? and all of them would say say something different. They would cover the same story, but them news anchors would say something different. Why? Because it was written different. You got different writers writing this mess, and them folks looking at it on that teleprompter. And I'm telling you, they telling something different. I'm telling you, I used to work at them TV stations. I seen what's going on. I seen what's going on at them TV stations. So I'm just merely saying. I'm merely saying. The 601 network, yo, I'm telling you straight up. I want you to think outside the box. Because I rest assure you, yo, they got something cracking down there. Oh man, ain't nothing going on with regular politics. You just a conspiracy theorist. You know, you just a sovereign citizen guy, thingamabob type guy. Man, get out of here with that mess, B. Yo, if you don't think that's what's going on, your eyes are just as blind as mine, son. Real. I'm talking about your eye, your mental eye is just as blind as my physical eye. And I'm blacked out, son. I'm blacked out, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be naive to these folks. Don't be naive to them, because I'm going to tell you something. Your naivety is going to create some problems that you can't solve. I'm telling you, okay. I'm going to say, let me say that one more time. Your naivety is going to create some problems that you can't solve. So rest assured on that. What them folks got going on downtown, you ain't gonna never know until it come out the wash. What them folks got going on around this city, you ain't gonna never know until it come out the wash. See, that's the reason why I be telling people at the Jane Avenue meeting, contact me. Send me an email. Give me a phone, look at the show. Be in contact with me. I sent out my information, ain't nobody called me yet. It's like folks are scared to talk. This information is real. Everybody needs to be, you know what I'm saying, on board. If you see something in your neighborhood, you need to be like, yo, because a lot of times they don't report, you know what I'm saying, small stuff. Yo, my man, one of my homeboys from New York was telling me that they got this joint online. Well, it's this media. It's like it's an alternate media source. But they got it just for online, just for New York, where they talk, where people like maybe like, I guess they call in or they record it on their phone, whatever's local going on in that particular area, and they upload it to that particular media source, and they tell it as it's happening, or as it has happened. You know what I'm saying? You know. But they, you know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of times they tell it as it's happening. They do it live. See what I'm saying? And what it is that they're covering stuff that's going on in their neighborhoods that the regular media is not picking up. Cause believe me, New York is they bandwidth. I'm gonna say it like this: they bandwidth is so broad with junk happening. They can't. The news medias can't cover it all. The newspaper people, you know what I'm saying, that covers it over the internet, whatever. Or I don't know if they still print newspapers or not, but they probably is up there. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that I'm telling you, it's a lot going on. I'm gonna give you an example. Real talk. I mean, look, yo, it was a real tragedy what happened over in the Queens with with their family, with them two women, them two ladies, and their little boy, you know. But even crimes like that don't get reported. It's so much going on up there. Something like that would not even get reported because you got so much stuff that supersedes it. You know? And I mean, that right there needs to be reported. Man, listen. When I used to be a security, I used to work security up there. Yo, man. Walking down the street, going home. Slap hands with a fella I went to school with. Right? Yo, I swear, it wasn't even 8 minutes. 8 minutes. The shots rang out. I slapped hands with him. It wasn't even 8 minutes. Him and his man. Him and his friend was walking. We walking in opposite directions. I said, "Oh, what's up, dude? What's up? What's up? What's up?" I didn't know his name. He didn't know mine. We just knew each other from school. You know what I'm saying? We slapped hands because we was always cool when we was going to school. You know. So it wouldn't even, I know it hadn't been about no more than 5 to 8 minutes. Shots rang out. And they killed both of them dudes. Dudes pulled up and dead at them. I mean, just out of nowhere, man. I'm like, yo, I think because they got like a little ways down, like maybe a block down. And I heard this. I was like, yo, that was close. I was looking around. Man, them kids was dropped. Them boys was dropped. They was on the ground. I just kept it moving. I looked, I just kept it moving. Crowd started going around. I'm looking. It was them. Somebody dropped them. But that never got reported on the news. A random case, another case in point. When I was up there, I'm just talking about stuff that never got reported. I was living in Harlem on 125th Street. A dude, some guy, I don't know, got his heart cut out. Over $5. Over $5. You can still see the blood, the heart arteries, and all that stuff on the ground in the arm. What's the name? I'm talking about tape around everything. I seen when they picked them up. The folks at the restaurant came out, washed the blood down. Police wasn't going to clean it up. Did that get reported on the news? No, it did not. It's just so much going on. So what I'm saying is that down here in Mississippi, when something like that happens, it's going to get reported because crime is, people, yo, resident, you better be lucky. You better be lucky. The amount of murders that Jackson get, man, New York can get that joint in a week. In a week, but won't be. Imagine what they get in a week that's not reported, but it still goes on the toll because it's reported in the police archives because they have to deal with it. That's why crime. That's why it goes up. But it's not. But see, it's not. I'm talking about not. But that's what the news cover. That's what the news don't cover. Imagine what the news cover. Still put Jackson to shame. Whatever the news cover, whatever the murders is, or you know what I'm saying, whatever the murders is in New York that the news do cover, man, they'll still put Jackson to shame. But imagine what the murders are that they don't cover. Man, please. Unprecedented. It's unprecedented. It's unprecedented crime of murders. So, look, I'm not, I'm not grateful that, I don't want nobody to die in the hands of anyone else. But I'm just telling you what the reality is. And that's the reality of all of this. Some stuff gets reported, some stuff does not. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff that do get reported supersedes the stuff that's out there. And that's why the stuff that's out there don't get reported. So, I mean, you know, and police, they said, well, the police, now JFP put out something about the, I didn't get a chance to read that, but I'll read that probably tomorrow. I might come back. Matter of fact, I might come back on here a little later on today. Because they were talking about how the JPD is short, you know, is short of officers. Okay, so we short of officers, but then we strapped for cash. You watch what I tell you you watch what I tell you. If you could remember now, I'm finna go deep off in this real quick. Think about this. Remember when y'all remember when former Mayor Yarborough was in was mayor for that one term, right? After senior Chuckway Lumumba had passed away and he came in. No. Yeah, he came in. So, because I'm thinking about Frank Milton. Harvey Johnson came in after Frank Milton, you know, but Chuckway Lumumba, Chuckway Lumumba Senior, when he passed away, Yarborough, you know, say got the spot. You know what I'm saying? Remember that time when it was a leak somewhere down in South Jackson somewhere? He said they found some bread. Remember that? He said, well, we found some money somewhere. We found the money, so we'll be able to take care of that because it was cold and it was a pipe leak. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing with this shortage of these officers. I'm telling you straight up, I ain't even gotta read that mess. I'm telling you straight up and down. They're gonna find the money in order to fund this mess. They're gonna find some bread to fund this stuff. See, short, check this out. Something that you don't know. And I'll talk real low so nobody can hear me. Nobody can hear me but you. They got a CAFR account. You know that? This is what's called a CAFR account. That's a secret account that all cities have. That CAFR account funds. See, everything is budgeted. Everything is budgeted. See, that's why you'll never know about the CAFR account. Allegedly. Let's say allegedly. But according to my understanding, there's a CAFR. It's called a CAFR account. That's one of them accounts that all cities have. But they allocate funds to these cities, and them cities gotta see. And the thing about it is I think that they overspend sometimes. That's why they get broke. When monies get allocated, and then the tax dollars, okay, generate tax dollars. Say, well, we know we don't have enough people. This, that, whatever. Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. What are you doing to bring people in the city? What type of incentives is you giving people to come into the city besides, you know what I'm saying? See, it's like I said, funds is being mismanaged. The funds are being mismanaged. I don't care what nobody say. I'm blind as Ray Charles and I can see that. The funds was being mismanaged. I don't know if it was Chuckway Lumumba's administration doing it or what. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if maybe the department heads, maybe a lot of department heads was mismanaging their money and they was asking for more bread and they kept pouring money into their funds. I don't know, but I know they was mismanaging money because here's the deal. If like I hark on this all the time. If you got a budget for $30,000 and you get a contract for $15,000, what other $15,000 going? All right. Well, you have 15. That means you have $15,000 to save. You're not going to eat up your budget. You're not going to eat up that budget. If that budget is $30,000 and them suckers come in and bid that stuff out for 12 or 15, you got bread to save. You got bread. You got extra $18,000, extra $15,000 to save. So let's rock these budgets. Let's talk finances for a minute. It's not rocket science. It ain't nothing but it's in ones and zeros. Nothing but calculate. This is adding and subtracting. It's just a simple. Ain't no division in this. Ain't no fractions in this. Ain't no multiplication. Ain't nothing but adding and subtraction. That's stuff you learn. That's stuff you learn in first grade. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's all it is. 1 plus 1 is 2. Simple as that. It's simple just like that. Probably a first grader could figure it out. They probably gonna count on their hands and toes, but they gonna get their mathematics correct. I'm telling you what it is. Play with it. Play with it. I know that's what's going on. It don't make sense. I'm telling you. You got things contracted out. If you got something contracted out, you know you ain't gonna spend all your bread. If you pay me to come in, let's do it for an example, please. If you pay me, you give me a car. Let's say you've been paying your computer manufacturer or your computer store, whoever you go to, right? Comp USA or I don't know, whoever, to fix your computer. And then you're like, man, this stuff is expensive, bro. And you got a budget. You saying, well, let's say you got about 5 computers, and you got a budget. You're like, I got a budget. I can't go over my budget. You know what I'm saying? My budget is set for this. Then you come say, hey, you come to me, say, Mr. Bird, I tell you, I fix computers. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And you say, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? What you charge? We go through the numbers. We look at the numbers and everything. I was like, well, do you have a budget? I'm gonna ask, number one. I'm gonna ask, do you have a budget? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give you my price until I know that you have a budget. I don't know what the budget is or whatever the case may be, but I'm gonna ask you, do you have a budget? I'm not gonna ask you what that number is, but I'm gonna ask you, do you have a budget? Yeah, we got a budget for it. You know what I'm saying? We got a budget for it, whatever. All right, well, okay, well, I'm gonna write down the number and say, this is the number. And they're gonna look at it. You're gonna look at it. You're gonna say yay or nay. You're gonna be like, well, nah, that number's a little too steep for me. I'm trying to recover some losses that I had when I was with the other company. Okay. Well, let's be flexible. Okay, cool. So what you looking at? What's your number? You looking at it? I'm looking at it. I can say either yay or nay. So okay, we could deal with that. We could deal with that. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Okay, deal made. Now, you saving money. You honestly think they ain't doing that? You honestly think that they're not doing that? You want to be up for a rude awakening, resident? They're doing that. That's exactly how it works. They is in money. They are in business to make money. The city is not gonna be. They're not gonna be on the losing end. I'm sorry I took a pause because it always puts me in the mind of this J-Trans stuff. I'm trying to get you through this. I'm trying to get you through this, resident. I'm trying to get you through this. It's just like that J-Trans stuff. I was just reading it. I stay reading it. Because I'm saying, you know how like, I'm like this. I'm going to read it until it clicks. I'm telling you, that document was not created for no reason. They said that they spent money and they said at no cost to the city. MV Transport is at a loss. At no cost to the city. They took time out, they rerouted the schedules, they got all this stuff together in terms of the routings and everything, the bus routes and everything. I don't give a ding dong what Christina Welch say. That's the deal that was made. You think that wasn't the deal that was made? Look, ain't nobody stupid. If you don't think that was the deal that was made, they said that they had a loss. That's what this document say. I'm gonna figure out how to link it in the description. I'm gonna figure out how to link that thing into the description and copy and paste it and put it into the description. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. I just ain't figured it out yet. I'm trying to get my other. I got a new computer and I'm trying to put another. This computer is nice, and I'm trying to get get it together. I'm trying to So I guess hopefully if when my child come in, I hope she has the heart to want to come help me install this operating system. Cause it's a nice computer, and I really want to get this operating system in this computer so I can get it. Because I got a lot I want to do. I'm telling you, I got a lot I want to do. I want to put in a new recording program. You know what I'm saying? So I can adequately share my screen and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I can handle all of that on my own. But as far as the operating system, I can't see the BIOS. You know what I'm saying? I can't see the BIOS, so I can't. It's because they don't have no screen reader in the BIOS and UEFI and the UEFI. Was it the Unified External Unified Intensive External Interface? Yeah, UEFI Firmware Interface, Unified External Firmware Interface. So that's but anyway, man, I'm telling you, this document. They sent, I'm telling you, I be reading it, because I'm like, they really telling on themselves. MV Transport is really telling on themselves. They're really saying, in my mind, I'm going to tell you what they're saying to me. What that document saying to me is that, we ain't going nowhere, we got y'all on the hook. Straight up. And I'm telling you, but that's how business works. They'll come in and they'll do something for free just so you can bite the hook. And it's like multiple. You ever went fishing and you got that hook? I think it's got like 3 prongs on it, 3 hooks on it. You put a bait on this one, bait on that one, drop into the water, right? The fish might have a big mouth and hook on all 3 of them, but it might be just a little one. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm saying. They got the right bait, so they got the right bait to catch the right fish. In other words, they put the right bait on the hook. If they don't like that bait, they're going to eat that bait. If they don't like that bait, they got a variety of bait. So they know they're going to get a bite. Don't you think that they made different proposals? Well, we're going to come in here and make it, because Transdav didn't make that attractive proposal. Because if Transdav would have did that, see, this is how, open up your eyes. Open up your eyes. When Trinidad came in here in 2019, they didn't make that proposal. Because if that was the case, the routes would have been changed then. So you know it had to be a motherfucking proposal. I'm sorry I got excited that time. I'm sorry. But, yo, I just want you to see that though. Come on, man. That's what's going on. It for the life of me, you know, like I said, it's always about money. It's about that's what this is all about. That's what that strike is about. That's what the water is about. That's what the airport is about. All of them. That's what all this stuff got in common. Ted DiBiase Jr. That's what that was about. Money. Now this former welfare cat, he finna get caught up. Money. This police officer shortage that they're talking about. That's why they brought in some new cops. They trying to give that woman what she need. Do you think? Let me ask you this question, resident. Do you think that Mayor Horn went down there to wherever he went to Virginia or Pennsylvania, wherever she's from? I know she's from up there. And asked for her to come down to be the chief of police after she done retired, which just like Chet Henfield did. We'll come back to that. There's a conspiracy to that too. She retired. She had 30 years in the game. 30 years in the game. Maybe 30 years plus. And she come down here. And then she get paid what she get paid. And you don't freaking think for the life of you that Chief Brackney is gonna come down here and just take the bread that they're gonna give her and not give her what she needs in order to be effective in her job. This is her reputation on the line. She ain't finna F around. She told them, I know she told them. I know she told them. We ain't playing no games. Man, let me tell you something. I can feel it. Down in the basement of my soul that she told them. I want my bread and I want what I need to clean this mess up. I don't know if she could afford or whatever the case, whatever financial situation is. I don't know what kind of favors or influence that she has up north to bring people in. But I'm quite sure she could have said, she probably told them, y'all get you folks what I need, or I'm going to bring my folks in and y'all going to pay for it. I ain't playing. Because I'm not coming down there. And I know she read them. I know she read the reports. I know she read them reports, them criminal reports and all the mess that's going on down here before she got here. She didn't come down here willy-nilly. That thing was made before John Horn was confirmed. I bet you that. I bet you that. It was made before he got confirmed. He said, if I get confirmed, this is what we gonna do. It wasn't, come on, man, this ain't no fly-by-night thing. That woman did her homework. That woman did her homework. See, I was telling my man up in Flint, yo, they doing a lot of stuff under the table down here. It ain't like it's in Flint. It's all, see, in Flint, it's out in the open with the city councils and stuff like that doing. Man, them cats, oh, they rugged and raw out there in Flint. I look at that city council. I look at the one over in what's it? I ain't gonna say it's not New Brunswick, New Jersey, but it's not Newark. I look at the one in Newark, and it's another one I look at in New Jersey. But they live. They get straight to it. And I'm talking about the council members are going up against each other. But I tell you straight up, you know what I'm saying? But Flint, you can see it. They got 9 members, 4 on one side, 5 on the other, and it take 5 votes to pass. And it's like a tug of war. You know what I'm talking about with the guy Eric Mays, with the deep voice like T.D. Jakes? He passed, of course he passed away. But that's the reason why I started watching it. Because I wanted to see what Flint was doing that Jackson could possibly do. What was the problems that they was having. That's one of the reasons why I started watching Flint. I wasn't interested in Flint. I wasn't interested in none of that mess. My daughter was telling me about Eric Mays and how effective he is and this, that, whatever, boom, boom. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So when this thing went down with the city of Jackson with the water crisis, I said, well, let me see what Flint doing. Because I knew Flint had that water problem. Because before I lost my eyesight, the lady came on there and she had drunk the water and she held it in her mouth for a minute. Yeah, the water's fine. And she drank the water and held it in her mouth for a minute and then swallowed it. And she held it in her mouth hoping the camera would go off. And then she was spit it out. I remember that. I'm just saying. But my point is that they had they problems out in the open. Jackson, no. Jackson, they under the table. All that, but they doing a lot of stuff under the table. But I can guarantee you this. Chief Brackney did her homework. Chief Brackney did her homework. Chief Brackney talked to Tyree Jones. Tyree, he talked to former Chief Wade. I don't remember his first name, but I know Chief Wade. She talked to them. I'm telling you, she talked to them. She had an exclusive conversation with them 2 cats. You don't think she did her homework? Man, well, I'll tell you just like this. She knew what Frank Milton did. She know what Frank Milton did. Come on, man. So, look here, bro. Let me tell you something. And then you gonna bring in, he brought in McMillan. McMillan was wearing 2 hats. Remember that? Remember when Frank Milton brought in McMillan? McMillan was the chief of police, and he was the chief of police for the sheriff. Wasn't no drama around Jackson. That cat was going around in that what's the name? He was going around in that little in that what you call it? I don't know, Winnebago or whatever that joint was, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Command that mobile command center. That's what it is. Let me say it right. Man, wasn't no drama, man. The cat, he was not playing. He had this city on the chokehold. You don't think she know about that? You don't think she know the effectiveness of these different chiefs? Cause when Wade was in, he did a good job. So I mean, come on, man. So she definitely gonna get what she needs. She didn't come down here to get no bread. She got her own bread. She could have stayed where she was. She was good. She was good money. Lady had to sell her house. Man, come on, man. You ain't. Yo, I got a house. You know what kind, yo, I gotta sell my house because you won't offer me a job. Let's say you offer me a job in Wisconsin somewhere. Then I got to sell my house down here in Jackson, Mississippi. Or you won't offer me a job up in Connecticut somewhere. I mean, in a place where I don't know nothing about. It better be some bread. It better be some type of contingency. We ain't playing. I gotta sell my house. This is all good. And if it's paid for, or if it's not paid for, I still gotta sell it. Come on. I got to deal with that, and then I got to deal with the transition. Man, come on, man. And then I got my family. Let's say I'm married, whatever, with kids, whatever, or I'm married and I'm just retired, just like her. Married, just retired, my kids grown, this, that, woo, woo, woo. And then y'all tell me they tell me to come up there, whatever, to do this, do that, woo, woo, woo. You know there's gonna be some contingencies. You just took me out of my life. She probably had plans. That woman I know she had plans. She's a woman. She a woman. She had plans. She had plans with her husband. She had plans. Nah. You're not finna take me away from this, and I'm not gonna get compensated. And I'm not talking about no money. You gonna compensate me with money, and then you gonna compensate me with the tools I need in order to get the job done. Because I'm not coming down here to get some bread and twirl my thumbs. My reputation is on the line. This is who I am. Let me show you who I am. I'm gonna show you who I am. But if I don't have the tools I need to show you who I am, I'm out. Keep your money. Keep your money. Give me the tools I need to show. This is what I need. I need this, and this. You got it. Okay, we're in. It's on. Let's go. Like you say in New York. Let's go. It's on. Let's go. We on. Let's go. We are on. So, yo, that woman is not stupid. And you don't be stupid either, resident. You don't be stupid either. They're doing a lot of things under that table that you don't know nothing about. So when it come out in the wash, that's when you're gonna be the last one to know, resident. I'm just here to tell you, today hump day. Stay intelligent. You gotta stay intelligent. You gotta stay intelligent about what's going on around you. I don't care whether you're from Washington Dishes, Vernon Edition, or West Jackson, Bottoms, whatever, North Jackson, say he stole. I don't care where you at. You don't think that mess gonna affect them folks out there? It's gonna affect them folks out there in these stores. Tell you what it is. Fondren, you know what I'm saying? Bellhaven, all that. It's gonna affect all them folks out there. South Jackson. Shout out to all them neighborhoods. This is one Jackson. This is one Jackson. I think that ought to be my campaign, one Jackson. This ought to be my campaign, one Jackson. Yo, word, one Jackson. Hey, maybe I need to rep. Maybe I need to rep America. Hey, this is one Jackson, yo. Hey, one Jackson, yo. Y'all, look, y'all get it, yo. This is one Jackson. Maybe I need to run for mayor. But look, that's it for me. Yo, today hump day. I want y'all to enjoy the rest of the day. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Until that time, stay encouraged.